So it's not too often I bring up math in relation to the ongoing protests at Kuchukquak over the Jackie Vautour situation. For most people who've been following this channel, we know that Parks Canada raided the Sacred Fire encampment, which was manned by members of Jackie's family, including grandkids, and people were arrested on Thursday after a 5-hour blockade where the encampment was torn down and concrete dividers, not say pillars, but dividers, have been put on either side of the highway that were leading into the Jackie Vautour sacred property. When we say that, that's where his ashes and other, what do you call, remembrance of family is there, like their remains. Now, the question is, ladies and gentlemen, since June of 2024, Parks Canada have been patrolling that area several times an hour, hundreds of times a week, maybe 10 to 50 times a day since then. Who's paying for this? This intimidation of the Jackie Vautour supporters, well, that's what we're going to call them, like the late Jackie Vautour, who basically was fighting for the rights of Métis Acadiens, who were taken off the land in 1969 onward to make a provincial park, which was a collusion between the Pierre Trudeau federal government and Louis Robichaud, who himself is a half-breed, in the words of Charlie Van Horn, a Acadian Métis. Who's paying for all these people patrolling back and forth and people getting arrested? Edmond Vautour, Maureen Vautour, Rocky Vautour, Paige Vautour, Courtney Vautour, either arrested or basically moved off the property. Who's paying for this? Who's paying for, who is representing them in court for Parks Canada in the legal charges against Courtney and other family members? Who's paying for this? Well, do you have a mirror in your house this morning, ladies and gentlemen? Take a look at the mirror. You're paying for it. They're using taxpayer dollars. It's got to be costing hundreds of thousands of dollars to patrol a situation that was now deemed illegal, where in 1969 it was legal. In 1969, you could expropriate land from anybody across Canada to make a park, either a small version of a Parks Canada location or a large version. And that obviously costs a lot of money. But what they're doing right now, they're intimidating and trying to say, well, you're not supposed to be in a park. It's an illegal protest. You have no right to be there because it's been deemed such and such that you're doing illegal acts. What the Jackie Vautour family is not doing is an illegal act. A protest is not an illegal act. They're not stopping anybody from crossing that Point Sapin connector. They're not intimidating the local people that visited the park. If anything, they're just there to say we exist. Many Acadian Métis have taken up that hashtag, we exist. I've been Acadian Métis all my life because I was born on the North Shore, which is one of the key, what do we call, say in Bathurst Mines terminology, the 5 fingers of Acadian Métis territory in the province. In our region, Mariah, Pabineau, Eel River Bar, and Listagush have ancestry that's not status because they married either Aboriginal men married white women, or Aboriginal women who lost their status married non-Aboriginal men, but their kids have Aboriginal blood. Now, let's put this in perspective, ladies and gentlemen. In the mid-2000s, when people were protesting against Bennett Environmental in Beldoon, there was a very famous protest led by Environment V leader Florian Levesque, who did a papier-mâché version of Roland Haché, like a puppet. We were walking on the Beldoon stretch, and I was covering it for the Campbellton Tribune. And an RCP helicopter was circling around and patrolling. I think it was about 100, 150 people were walking in the highway to bring attention to what we felt was a bad decision to bring a soil recycling facility into Beldoon. That plant was brought in through collusion with Brian Mulroney, Bernard Lord, and allegedly Donald Trump had motivated John Bennett to seek out Superfund sites in the States, which eventually led to him serving federal jail time because he was greasing the palms down in New Jersey and New York in relation to the site. Now, here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. I was told by a now retired RCMP, when an RCP helicopter passes by and does a patrol, it's between $250 and $1,000 when you do a pass. You come in, you go, could be taking pictures or whatever. It adds up. I can imagine it's not the same with Parks Canada driving in the car back and forth to patrolling a peaceful location. But if Parks Canada has 2 officers in 2 cars, or 3 officers in 2 cars, going back and forth, that probably people are getting overtime, the gas you got to put in the car, the surveillance if they're taking pictures, or allegedly they've been taking audio of the site as well. We really don't know the final cost. And Parks Canada is not really saying how much it is costing the taxpayers, because now this money could easily been used as donations towards, like I said, a historical text that it can learn the public in Acadian and English schools in the province, the history of Jackie Vour. It doesn't cost much for what they call archives of books or copies of the Canadian Encyclopedia to let the kids learn about the true New Brunswick history. This is 55 years this is going on in New Brunswick, where the Jackie Vautour family, starting with Jackie Vour, said this was wrong. Now, I'm not saying the cops don't have to do their job. By the way, this is not RCMP. This is Parks Canada wardens or Parks Canada peace officers. We know that the RCMP is not really calling for any charges against the Vautour family. But do you think charging Paige and Edmo and Rocky and all the other family members is going to make the situation go away? It's going to cause publicity, negative publicity. I'm an English media member, that's Acadian Métis. This is maybe my 20th podcast I've done since Edmo approached me. He said, Jeffrey, you know a little bit about the thing. Can you help us get out some of the information to cover both sides? I said, sure, Edmo, I'm going to help you out. I am covering both sides, and the both sides is this. Is it worth it to Parks Canada to continue with the harassment? If they go back, okay, it's going to be the same thing over again. Why are you spending so much money and so much time? It's an obsession. There's no obsession here. If just say, okay, have your demonstration, be peaceful, and we'll maybe talk to you 3 or 4 times a week. We'll check if you need anything, but you're getting people that are status supporters from Elsipogtog being under view of Parks Canada, potential charges. We have the ceremonial chief that's supporting this protest, that's supporting the Vautour's family, Ensemble pour la Justice, trying to get some justice. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very fluid situation. I want you to read an article that appeared in Lac Nouvelle today on December 5th about Courtney's recent appearance in court, and also was interviewed with Edmo Vautour, a good young journalist is working on it. And I'm sorry it's not the English media, but Lac Nouvelle is trying to do their best in the coverage because they reflect, the best and the worst of Acadie. So this is the latest on the Jackie Vautour situation. Is $1 million been spent already by Parks Canada alone dealing with this latest protest? Yes. It's not cheap. These cops, what do you call Parks cops, or what do you want to call them, they're not going to do anything unless they're paid. It's a very, very bizarre situation, ladies and gentlemen. And they're spending your money. They spent your money to expropriate. They spent your money to pay off the people thinking it was going to be enough. But this is just foolishness. They're spending tons of money. You can basically say, okay, we'll have a contact with you once a week. Stay there for now, and we'll keep going with the negotiations. They're not going to take back the park. There's not enough members of the Vautour family is going to set up a whole bunch of trailers and stuff like that in the park. They're doing that as a ceremonial and a protest in support of the Vautour cause. And the Vautour family is speaking for all the expropriates. Anyway, leave it like this. So, ladies and gentlemen, anybody out there wants to reach me on this situation, please do so. I'm on Facebook at JJCarrier7, Hotmail, GovCarrier at hotmail.com, at my media office in Canterbury, New Brunswick, 506-272-1880. But I would suggest, if you know any members of the Vautour family, contact them directly. I'm just a voice in the wilderness crying out for justice. These people need your support. And if you support the situation, please contact them. See what he can do. Contact your MLA, contact your council member, your mayor, contact your MP, and saying this has got to end. And they're spending your tax money now too there. And there's no answers from Parks Canada. We know that Parks Canada doesn't go on the record very often. And they're not going to say, well, yeah, we spent $1.3 million since June. It's not cheap. You pass by with a car, a peace car. The gas alone, it's $1.65 a liter, $1.60. 20 miles to the gallon, it adds up. So, we'll see what's going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a good wintry day. We fell about 15 centimeters in Carleton County. But in the words of Jackie Vour, we're not going no place. Have a good one. Bye.